everybody is born, his mind is white. Your mind is white, every person, even the president. But you don't know who have given birth to you. You don't know your tribe. You don't know how you will be. But your brain is always white. But there's a lot of things that when you are growing, you start growing, you start knowing things, and all those, they come into your mind. Some things you see them, some things you are told, some things you know from maybe you are affected, it is just general from the community, the environment that you are in. Then all these things that happens, they tear a person from your brain, from what has been written to your mind, and everything that you have seen, they tear you into pieces. Then you feel like this, you are off, you have been teased off. So this is a person from inside. These pieces, the way they are, you feel like you are down. But it is now two ways. These papers can come back to normal, and they can maybe go and be recycled as papers, but as an individual, what has teared you down? What has brought you down? Can they be reconnected again? Can you connect yourself again? So, STEP is here to encourage people to connect themselves into pieces. Collect those pieces and you connect them. Then you become back to normal. Despite that, even if a cloth has been torn and you take it to a tailor for repair, it will still have some wounds. Instead of just staying there looking like you are useless, you'll never make it again, you'll never achieve it again, you can still collect your pieces, and these pieces, STEP now brings people to share their stories, people to talk to the young people, people to encourage the young people, and then somebody feels like, I can make it again. If that person made it, then I can make it again. But also we have those who reach at this position and they take themselves, now you can tear yourself to more pieces even than you are not expecting, because you can decide, let me go to drink, to take drug, go to crime, let me be a terrorist, let me join bad behavior, and that will really put you into a dustbin. You can still rebuild yourself. And rebuilding yourself is what STEP is trying to encourage young people, both boys and girls, both women and men. You can still make again. And that is STEP. STEP is an organization that started in 2002. It was just a football team where young people used to come together, they play, and they go back home. So it was later structured very well, and it became an organization, a CBA, community-based organization. We use sports as a tool to address issues affecting the communities. People just need to come together, share, and they say the problem once shared is a half solved. Our main aim is to bring young people together through sports, do mobilization through sports. We have young people who doesn't have a person in a space to speak for them. Others, they have full families, but they have something happening into their hearts. Issues inside them, they have kept for themselves. They doesn't have a counselor, they doesn't have somebody to turn to. Bringing a social place whereby they can have a space, be productive. Youth are not productive because they doesn't have opportunity to communicate what they feel. In terms of individuals, in terms of personality. Our vision is to have a united, empowered and developed society through youth and children. Youth and children are the one who can bring development. Before we started, we were just a football team, and we have grown to a level whereby we have reached over 5,000 young people. Indirectly and directly, we have reached a lot of people in the community. Our mission is to maximize talent and potential for development. We have worked with different partners. We worked with different churches. The pioneering church was Deliverance Church. We have worked with Cathedral, that is the Catholic Church. We organized several tournaments. That was in 2002, 2003. And this really created a very big impact because it was really encouraging a young person down there to feel like, I can make it, I have another chance, I have an opportunity. It was a very good time for also fishing young people to go back to church. We have also worked with international athletes. These are athletes who are coming together, they give trophies, they give balls, and the main aim was for them to give back to the society. We used to have a tournament like Daniel Komen tournament, and the main aim of this tournament is young people to come and play, interact, but later we invite like Daniel Komen, come and share your story, because people see like the athletes, they were born with big vehicles, but when they share their testimonies, when they share their stories, then the young person down there feels like, okay, I can also make it. In 2004, we got an invitation to go to Tanzania through a program called CRISC, that's Christian Sports Contact. And here we didn't have even a single cent. So we came up with an idea of, let's collect bottles of soda. We were given empties and we managed to collect 10,000 empties. We managed to return these bottles to Coca-Cola Company. And Coca-Cola Company gave us 100,000 check. It was out of creativity, and we managed to go to Tanzania and we came back. In 2007 is whereby ESTEP was seen very well, because we were invited by Red Cross after post-election violence to go and organize sport for psychosocial. These sports, we were doing them in the camps, and we were given 3 camps. One was Eldoret Showground, the second one was Charangani, the third one was in Timboroa, around Ban Forest. We came up with a program, Sports for Peace, which we partnered with Oxfam and PeaceNet. And this event was called Electroviolence Response Initiative. And this was a very unique program, which we did it just immediately after post-election. That was in March. So the main aim was, here we have young people in the camp, here we have young people in the community, they were friends, they were neighbors. How can they come together again? So we used a ball. The one ball, people come together, they play, they talk together, and they think together. So this program was divided into 5. One was an IDP tournament, which was played in the camp. And this was to monitor, are young people in the camp ready to go outside to play with others? And then we had a community tournament. This was also a tournament to monitor, are the young people outside ready to receive those who are in the IDP camp? And then there was a peace talk. It was not a playing to win, it was participation, play to participate. So we selected young people in the community who were really vocal. The team was composed of those young people. We invited the district commissioner, we invited the chiefs. So we were working closer with them for this peace initiative. We came now with a program which was called Amani Mtaani. And Amani Mtaani, we partnered with KCDF. that is Kenya Community Development Foundation. We brought the elders to come and interact by themselves, to come and play. It was very fun because looking at an elder of 60 years, an elder of 40 years, chiefs, others lecturers, others bishops, others business people coming together and playing. So when these people were interacting, we brought all the young people to sit around the field, and they were like watching what is happening. How can my father play with that? And then it was mix of Kikuyu, Kisii, Luyas, Luos. But what challenged the young people was when the game ended, these elders were greeting each other, they were happy, they were like, hey, do you remember our days? You remember 15 years back? You remember 30 years back? You remember 40 years back? Then the big question to the young people was, what will we remember? If this was they have something to remember. And we involved the person with disability, because they were telling the young people, let it not happen again. Let it not happen again. In this program also we invited the security. We brought in the police, we brought in the Chief Maswai, who was really teaching more of community policing, like a police is your friend. Because at the end of everything, some of the young people, when they see a police, they see them as enemies. So we brought a program whereby, let's come together. Let's see the police as our defender, not like as enemies. And this really brought a very powerful interaction. So through these two programs, we now came to Masikop. We came with a program called Local Empowerment for Peace through Sports. This was not more of playing, it was more of young people coming together, but with one aim. Your team must have different tribes, a mixed tribe. So if your team has more than 8 different tribes, then we call your team the face of Kenya. It becomes now beyond play, whereby you now think of how you can start a business. So these young people came and then they start like, we can start a poultry farming, we can start a barber shop. So it was come as a group, play, participate, talk to each other, and then from there, after you have bonded, you come to the second phase. You think of your idea of a business, you think of a program that you can do, and then from there, you start your own business. This event went and we now Nike came in. Now it was USA, Masikop and Nike. And Nike gave us a 40-feet container. 40-feet container that we gave over 150 up to Kabaranet some uniform.
Timu zile zinapata hivi vifaa za football zote ni 43.
When we are in uniform, we see each other as brothers and sisters. We see each other as a nation. We see each other as a community. And this really made a very big impact, because all the equipment that we received, it was very expensive equipment. So we gave them to different groups, different teams, athletes, so people are forming their groups, and it really made a very big impact.
I'm very much proud of these equipments which we have been just given right now. So it's a wonderful experience. Things like these ones, we used to see them on TV, but right here I can even kiss them and I feel them in my hands, the texture of it. So I'm very proud of it, and I thank the Masikops and the estate groups for helping us to achieve such things like these ones.
Before we issued the Nike materials, we visited the fields. It was fun sometimes, or sometimes it was very. Some of the young boys, they used to want to play with shirts, and they were like, that is the uniform. So if this side, maybe I want to know the other side, so I need to put to have no, like it doesn't have the jersey on top, and so they were playing like only with shorts.
I'm the captain of this club and I don't have even boots.
Ikiendelea hivyo, hata sisi tutakuwa na hope that one day will be star. Jina langu ni Aden Khalif from Al-Misri.
This created us like to think on how can we approach Nike for this program together with Masikop, and this happened, and it was very grateful. People who benefited from this equipment were more than 3,000. It was a lot of young people. We had under 14, under 17, under 22, and also 22 and over.
Nimefurahia sana juu sikuwa na viatu kuchezea bola. Inaleta girls pamoja. Unaweza kuwa mtu anafikiria kitu mbaya, lakini ball inamleta anakuwa busy kwa ball.
We also had some program with person with disabilities, and we managed to get around 180 through our coordinator who was called Ochieng. And up to now, most of them are successful, very successful.
Huwa tunaenda mtaani kujaribu ku-identify wale ambao wako na capability ya kucheza. Ndiposa hapa leo tulienda mtaani juzi tukapata kijana ambaye potentially is able to play, is able to do everything, lakini alikuwa amekosa jinsi ya kutembea.
Disability is not inability. So through Masikop, this was part of the motivation incentive, whereby through the Masikop funds, we managed to buy 4 of them, and we have given to the groups, at least to the people identified.
The impact of that was not playing only, it was also training on leadership, training on communication skills, training on how to manage yourself, training on personal emotion. And here we used a curriculum which we called peace curriculum. It had only 9 topics, and it was we developed it with Masikop, but now it was upgraded by grassroots soccer. So this was the tool that was being used by our coaches. And how we did it, we gave every coach a training, and then from there the coaches went to their normal fields, and then they started training the members as those who had emotion, they were like relaxing. It was kind of counseling.
This is a very credible organization, that it is a transparent organization, that it is a listening organization. It's an organization that also listens to partners. It's an organization that appreciates partnerships, and I would encourage all the partners who are interested to join hands and support this organization.
I've been here with STEP for a few hours, and we're looking at around organizational development. STEP as an organization has come from far, and from my personal experience with them over the last 10 years, they have the greatest potential to become one of the leading organizations that taps into the potential of young people.
We made the my students to obtain a trophy and at least a set of game kits. Frequently we used to coordinate and assist boys and girls to identify their talents, especially in athletics and football. A few of these boys and girls have gone a notch higher, and today they are at least making their lives as a result of what they have benefited from the STEP organization.
Shule pia ndio huwa ananisaidia, hata kuna wakati mwingine amewahi kuninunulia uniform. Sasa ndio nimesema aendelee tu na mpira yake hiyo, pengine Mungu atamsaidia huko mbele.
It is hard to the family because the mother is fighting for the daily bread for the family, and also for Babu. We hope with the brothers and with the connection we are trying to look, when we see him achieving his dream of finishing the school, then it will be a very big achievement. And this goes as per one of our objectives, to help kids and youth access basic education, that is secondary level and primary level.
Soma. Naona hata mimi venye nasoma kwa shida. Soma babu. Dada anatu struggle, unasikia?
Mama babu, itawezekana. Tuombe kijana yetu. Pengine ndiye ataokoa bomu.
My name is Isaac Biot, and my school is Ainatuk Primary School. Amenisaidia kununulia viatu, socks, kinyasa, shati na sweta. Namshukuru sana.
My name is John Onyango. My school is Napti Primary School. Na pia mimi ningesema asante sana Este kwa sababu mmetusaidia kwa njia mingi sana.
As the coach, I can say that with this program, we are going to transform many youths in the society and even countrywide. And many things are going to be seen and many changes are going to be seen. Some radical informations are going to be passed through the youth in the society and are going to be implemented as well. And by the way, I'm a beneficiary of this program.
We have also visited some of the homes, like we have Albino School, which some of the young people, we connect them, they visit there, they play with the young people. We have Albino School in Ilula, they play with them, they work with them so that they can also accept themselves, that we are not excluded. We also have Rescue Center, which we mobilize our friends and also we visit with them. And we have this group of former players. We have over 100 former players in Uasin Gishu. They formed a team which was called Mamboyu FC. Apart from working, they come together, they socialize, they think of also how can we assist each other socially, because there are people who have upgraded to over 50, over 40 years, over 38 years. And this is the team that has also been supporting ESTEP so much. The computers from the ICT they donated, they have been coming in, talking to the young people, giving them skills, encouraging other young people how to be disciplined, and this has really transformed a lot of young people, and it has really made a very big impact to some of the young people because they listen to the stories of these former players. We also have been having some program like community service where we do Jigas campaign. We go with the youths after playing, we go where we have those who have been affected with jiggers, we wash them, we treat them, and this has been really creating a good model of showing cleanliness, teaching the community, and it has really brought like every person has something to do. And also cleaning service whereby we go to an area like where there is a lot of maybe dump site, we collect and we burn them, and others we work more with the municipal, the county government, or the environmental cleanup. Some of our activity has been covered with different medias, even that is national medias, and this has really gave a good profile to our organization. And we have Sayare, we have NTV, we have Citizen, we have also even the Star media, we have Standard newspaper, which have really compiled some of our work and also exposed our event. So we believe there is change, there can be change in this world only if every person we come together for this, for you. It's called unity of purpose. Through our events, we have planted more than 3,000, more than even 5,000 trees. Sometimes we plant trees in schools, we plant trees in whenever we have activities, and this has created a change. We also have partnered with Care International. Care International have supported some of our young girls. Others went to Germany and they were educated, and after going to Germany, this really created a very powerful impact in the society. And Sautiku Foundation, which now took over, like to educate this girl from Form 1 to Form 4, a full scholarship. And now others have even going to college. So at the end of the day, we will see a young woman who is empowered.
It's okay, my dear, it's okay.
Through Care International, we managed to host Michael Renberger, who came when by that time he was the ambassador from the US. He came, he visited our program, interacted with the disabled, and this was a very big initiative and a very big plus also to young people to meet this prominent person, to talk to him. It was a very great interaction. Through all this partnership, all our successors, all our beneficiaries came together, and we managed to buy a land, and we came up with a program of now building a center so that estate can be sustainable and not to depend on donors.
This is the land that our young people who have benefited from estate, they bought this land. And everybody got a job. So I remained alone. I wanted to look for a job and everybody said no. We can make estate to proceed because it has made us successful. So they all contributed and we bought this land, which was 1/8. And then we have another land which is there, which is a field. And by that time this land was cheap. It was not so expensive as where it is now today. Through this building, it has developed the area. So the young people from different homesteads, they all come here. This is their place where they can feel changed, transformed, equipped positively.
This land, as you see it, we came up with a very ambitious building, and we started just ourselves. We dug the foundation. Parents started giving one cement, others started giving the stones, others started giving the sand, and that is how estate began to grow, step by step, up to where we are. Estate started an exchange program, and this exchange program was between the estate and the University of Amsterdam. We came to this relationship through International Sports Alliance and Seeds of Peace Africa. Estate became one of the organizations that was selected. Before we were renting offices, and this land was bought by the beneficiaries. This land was bought by the young people who were in Estate, and they achieved. The first student whom we met was Paul Kettler. Paul Kettler came to Estate in 2006. He was an intern, but he came from the Hoge School van Amsterdam. We started exchange of program where they do sports management and business. That is how we came with the first group in 2012. 2013, this was the group, 2014, 2015. And 2016 also we had a team, and also we are expecting this 2017 also to have a team from the university. They really worked hard. Even we have a land, a field, which they supported us. They started fundraising for this building, putting their impact, trying where they can. It was not easy because we were training and we wanted to be transparent in every little thing we got. And we appreciate that the students, what they did, they contributed. For the first time, 2012, we tried our best. We spent what we were given correctly, and then they came again 2013. And a lot of people have visited this building when it was starting, but a lot of people also thought it will not happen because we were not millionaires. We were not people who could. It was not a dream that could reach to that stage. When Nyamwea, the president of the federation, has visited this place with the entire staff of the region of Football Kenya Federation to together with the sport officer, by then it was Mr. Nambaga, and they laid the first stone of the building. This building was supposed to be opened by His Excellency the Governor, and even we had made a plaque for him. This was His Excellency Honorable Jackson Mandago, who was to open this building. But by that time he was in the United States, the date that we were opening on 17. So that's why His Excellency Deputy Governor, Mr. Chemno, came to open the building. If it was not the government goodwill, national government like Uasin Gishu County government, we could not have been where we are. If it was not for the Ministry of Youth and Sports and Culture, we could not be where we are. And also the estate community and the beneficiaries, they really came together, worked together, fight together, and struggled for the best. So far we have hosted over 100 students who have really come from the University of Amsterdam, and they have given their best. And we want to say thanks a lot even to the leaders who have really struggled, communicated every year, and saw this coming a reality. We are hoping also to start a vocational skill training center, where our main aim is, apart from playing, apart from talking, can we make somebody to have a skill so that he can look for his own, he can generate his own personal income. This will really create a very big picture for if we work together, we play together, but tomorrow, where will you be? It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Here we want to look for young girls, young boys who have really maybe dropped out of school, and put them in a training whereby they can have a skill, and this skill will really transform their life. This has really created a lot of how can ESTEP be sustainable? How can ESTEP not depend on donors? How can ESTEP facilitate its program? How can ESTEP support the kids by themselves? And through the university, they have taught us more on managemental skills, more on communication skills, more of new games. We have frisbee games, which has come from them. They have also been bringing, for the last 5 years, they have been supporting us with materials that can support our young people, events and activities. And this has really been keeping us moving. If it was not for this institution, then we could not have been where we are today. We have really gained a lot through this partnership. One, they supported the sustainability of ESTEP, like operational cost for like 5 years, which has been making ESTEP to proceed. Every year we have been receiving students who come, we learn from them, we interact, and they work with our community, they help in the building, they fundraise from their side, they support us, and this has really created a very big impact. Even personally, I've been invited to Netherlands twice. I've gone there, I've done some lecturing, community lecture, how sport for development can make a change. Going there, I've also met very prominent players like Van der Sar. We have sat with him, talked with him about Toekomst. Toekomst is called it's the future. It's an academy in the Netherlands of the Dutch team called Ajax Amsterdam. So I visited the Toekomst. I've seen how they are nurturing talent. I've seen the centers, how they are operating in Europe, and this is a very powerful thing if we try to do it here. So trying to put all this to suit the standard of Europe, though I know we cannot reach their standard, but trying, which they say